All right, another episode of Conversation After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's good with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you want to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Hit us up. If you got a steamy story you want to tell or a question you want us to read on the air and have, we're live on Facebook. We have our friends weigh in, or if you got a criticism or a critique, save those because we don't care. But you can also find our old shows on conversateafterdark.com. And yeah, tell a friend about the show. So Tay.
Yep.
Let's start off with the icebreaker.
Okay. I'm gonna do extreme personal questions because we haven't.
Cool.
Oh Lord. Okay. Now these are kind of tame. They're not relationship focused. But I have two. I'm gonna give you a choice. One is why did someone call you an asshole the last time that happened? Or what is the most criminal thing you have ever done?
Okay, so I'm not going to answer the most criminal thing I've ever done because, I don't know if you watch. I watch like a lot of YouTube. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
This generation, we talked about like John Morant and like there's some little young rappers out of Chicago, the little drill rappers like King Von and them. They're like the most self-snitching generation ever. They put, them doing drugs and crimes, talking about them murders and all kind of just silly shit, and they put it on their Twitter, and the police just watching. And so what I won't do is self-incriminate and snitch on myself on my own show.
Good.
But I get called an asshole all the time. And Tay, I know you'll keep it real with me. You know me. I would say that 80% of the time, I know when I'm being an asshole. Now, when I was younger, it probably came from more of a mean-spirited type of bully type place. But me as an older man now, 46, it's more so I'm going to speak what's on my mind. I'm going to be, I guess, for lack of a better word, blunt about what I have to say, but I still come from a place of love with it. Like, I'm not trying to degrade or demean or put somebody down. I'm not trying to be a bully with it, but sometimes what I have to say to folks, they just kind of like, whoa. So they call me, an asshole. But the other 20%, sometimes even as intelligent as I like to think that I am, sometimes I'm just clumsy with my words, especially with women, especially with the woman that I'm like dating at the time. Like, I could be real smooth to get you to like me and get to know me and all that type of stuff. But when we're like chilling, I may say something, and it'd probably be better if I thought it out, and if it was going to be somewhat controversial, give a disclaimer before I say it. But then, like, I feel like I'm not being my authentic self. But people try to like, well, just be yourself. But then I'm like, nah, because if I'm myself, sometimes I say stuff that just pisses people off. And then I try to like, no, that's not really what I meant. And you try to explain what you meant by it. And a lot of people aren't wired to receive the explanation after they have been ticked off, especially women. So
that is true.
Black women. So you could just be like, no, that's not what I meant, and then it's over, right? I'm sorry, even if you didn't have the intention of pissing them off. So that's me. So you think I'm an asshole? Be honest.
I'm pretty sure I haven't seen you go full asshole, but I definitely can tell that you have that ability.
What?
Yes, you do. I've witnessed enough where I could, if somebody say, can Marvin be an asshole? Yes, definitely.
I ain't never been an asshole to you.
No, you haven't. That's what I said. Like I said, I've witnessed enough where I can tell you have that side.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Huh?
I'm a Pisces, and a lot of people are like, man, stop blaming shit on your sign. what I found is that some stuff is true, and like the thing about us Pisces that we could be like passive aggressive
Hmm.
unintentionally, like a slick. And the thing about it is, I hate sarcasm and I hate like a slick mouth. But I'm sarcastic and I have a slick mouth, so it's
Hmm.
like don't diss what you can't take. But yeah, yeah. So I already say that you're not. You probably could be an asshole. Yeah, you are. You are. You got somewhat of a bully aspect to you.
I come from a long line of sarcastic people, and I get it honestly. I don't use it as much, but I get it honestly. And most of the time when I use it, I'm joking. But if I don't like you and I don't care about you, oh, it can come out with a vengeance if you get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen it because I've said some stuff to you joking around, and then you know how I know like I didn't like take you off because I managed to take you off probably about 2 or 3 times a year. You know, I managed to get on your nerves about 2 or 3 times a year, and then I'm like, yeah, I must be tripping, and Tay is tripping. But this is how I know like if I'm in your presence, that's how I know because like you're like turn your hair real quick and your little hair will like snap real quick. I'm like, oh, shit, you know.
Actually, the time, especially I'm thinking about especially the last time, you really didn't tick me off like you thought you did. So I don't know about this 2 or 3 times a year. You're not on the list of people who have ticked me off like that. Believe me, when I get ticked off, the curse words come
Yeah, yeah.
and the N word comes. I hate to say it, but it flies out when I'm ticked off.
Can I be honest with you? Sometimes I
Mhm.
still think the N word.
Okay.
I don't say it, but sometimes like when I say, I'm like this, you know, and I'm like, damn, I wish I could say it, but I just don't. I don't say it. But anyway, so Tay,
Yes.
I remember when I first met my ex-wife.
Hmm.
She had this list of all of these characteristics and traits that she was looking for in a man, and I checked off like all but one of the boxes. It was like 20 different things.
Hmm.
I just fit right. Do women still do that at this age? We were much younger then. Do y'all still have a checklist of characteristics and traits that you want in a man?
At this age, I don't hear a lot of women talking about it as much as I did when I was younger. I do know that women have strict non-negotiables. And I do think those are important.
Mhm.
But in terms of I I want to say that a lot of times when I hear people talk about lists, most of the time it's superficial things on it. Like I remember there was this show with Chili where somebody, it was a matchmaker trying to find her somebody, and
Mhm.
Chili was reading off her list, and it was like, this man is a unicorn. If you find this man you're looking for, her list was so impossible. I mean, it didn't even make any sense for even to find that or everything she wanted, like in a woman. Like it didn't make any sense. So I think as you get older, you kind of realize that, and you kind of take things off, put things on. Also, when you're dating people, you kind of learn more about what you like, what you don't like, what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate. And that's where you kind of let go of the list. And then it just becomes, okay, these are my non-negotiables. If this isn't here, then I can't do this. Or this, I might be able to live with this.
Yeah. And I think along with what you're saying, as you get older, you realize that some of that stuff is not really practical and people change. Like I
Yeah.
said, when I first met, my ex-wife, I checked it all. And then, after 15 years, I wasn't checking none of the boxes, right? Out of there. I was up out of there. But I think you said, what did you say? Non-negotiables. I would
Mhm.
I would say it as a standard.
Yeah.
These are my standards of what I'm going to deal with and what I'm not going to deal with. So, like I said on the previous show, you got to be healed if I'm going to mess with you. You can't, still be trying to. You get triggered by every single thing, and you don't know how to respond to tough situations. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. If you have a family that isn't the most, if you have a toxic family,
Mm-hmm.
or how to keep that in check. I'm not gonna hold it against you that your family is toxic, even though that's a hard thing to deal with. But if
Right.
you don't know how to set up like the right boundaries, then I probably can't fool with you. There's some superficial stuff like in terms of looks. Obviously, I'm not dating anybody that's not black, but when it comes to looks, I mean, you just got to be somebody that I'm attracted to. And as I have matured, I realized that it needs to be somebody that like I'm like really attracted to. Because I've been with women and then like I could perform, I could, do something with them. But you want to be with somebody, I mean, it's real, but you want to be with somebody that every night that you get into bed with them, you ready to go.
Right.
Sometimes, there's people you every night you get into bed with them, you be like, all right, good night, and you want to roll over and just go to sleep. So I would say that would be what those are the standards that I'm looking for. But I see a lot of women who are like 5'2", 5'3", and they all looking for it. I want a guy that's 6'6", and 6'5", or whatever, whatever. And I'm just like, I'm 6'3", so I'm considered a tall man, right?
Right.
I recognize like it's not a lot of us out here. So like if that's all you're looking for, and you like 5'1", 5'2", you really could get somebody who's 5'9" and it still be like you could say, I want to wear my 6-inch heels. But you get somebody who's 5'9" and you can still be okay. But
Right.
y'all want to take all the tall men, which I mean that's your prerogative. But do you feel like if you change what's on your list or like take stuff off your list, you're settling just to not be alone?
Think so. I think it depends on what it is you take off. Because I was one of those women who had the 6 feet and under. No, that's not gonna happen. And then and then after my first boyfriend, I got into the real world and realized most men are not 6 feet. So so I had to take that off because as long as if I had my heels on, you still taller than me, I'm cool. But I had to, it's like I said, you live and you learn. I don't necessarily think it's settling. I think you just come to grips with the fact that you're not going to find a perfect person. Like even when it comes down to that 80-20 rule, that's you've heard about the 80-20 rule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 80% you'll find in the most you'll find in a person. But what if that 20% is like crazy as hell? Are you still going to stay? It's like you have to weigh your pros and your cons. I don't necessarily think it's settling. I think you just choose what you will tolerate and what you won't.
Yeah. And my thing is, how do you determine that they're checking all these boxes? Because like you get with somebody and then like start the date. And at this age, a lot of people aren't what is the term that somebody told me? I am not dating without a purpose. She said something else, but I'll just say not dating without a purpose. I'm not dating without intentions of being in a relationship. So if you just get to know somebody, right, and then you realize like, damn, this motherfucker don't check off none of my boxes, because hopefully they aren't all just superficial, like he's 6'3", bald headed, he got a beard and just that, he got a good job. Hopefully you're looking at their moral character and
Right.
how they deal with other people, how they handle situations, or their type of personality. But you might be 3, 4, 5, 6 months in the game before you recognize, is this person going to check my boxes or not? So
I mean, because everybody puts forth their representative first. So you kind of have to get past that a little bit before you can start judging whether this person.
what's your representative like?
Honestly, I try not to have a representative. I usually kind of lead with, okay, if you're trying to date me, this is the thing. I don't like to cook. I will cook, but I don't like to cook. I mean, I just
I thought you
try.
was a good cook, Tay.
I can cook.
Oh,
Mama and
there
my
you
daddy
go.
told me how to
There
cook,
you go. I can't cook. That's like
but I
me saying
don't like to cook.
I can't sing, but but I can't sing well.
Then there's a difference. But what I'm saying is, I let people know, hey, I can be an asshole. I let people know that from the beginning. But with my personality, because I am so quiet, because I am so reserved, it's hard for me to break that representative, only because I need a situation to show it. Like, when I was younger, it was a defense mechanism. If a guy approached me, he would automatically get asshole Tay. That was off break. I didn't care who you were.
Why were you trying to like put them through like a pledge process to see if they,
I mean, if you want to say it was a pledge process, but me, it was a way to kind of separate the boys from the men. Can you deal with it? First of all, can you deal with me? And then, because I know my family, so if we get deep in this, you have to have thick skin to be around my family, because 5 minutes around my family, you're gonna get picked on. I mean, so it was a defense mechanism for me, but it was also let me see kind of what you're made of.
Okay.
And after that, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
No, just talking about, getting to know somebody.
Oh, the representative. Yeah. So, but if I don't meet somebody, like if I meet a guy on a friendship level first, they don't automatically get that asshole side of me. So usually if it comes out, they're surprised by it, and people don't expect it from me.
I didn't expect it from you when you came with it, and I was just like, whoa, wait a minute, because automatically you assume when somebody is quiet, because you're quiet, but you don't carry yourself like you don't have like the RBF, like the resting bitch face. You don't have like a mean, evil spirit. You just be sitting there ear hustling. You be just like that too. With that ear cock listening, you know what I'm saying?
A real ear hustler don't have to do that.
Yeah, I didn't see you. You be acting like you playing that little game on your phone, and that ear be that ear be just like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's shocking because like you think somebody's, somebody that doesn't talk a lot, maybe you think like they're like uppity or stuck up or what have you, but you don't carry yourself in that way. So when that sarcasm comes out, it's kind of like, whoa, where'd this come from? Because most of the time, either the person is stuck up and uppity, or they're kind of like meek and mild, and you're not either one. You're just a jerk.
I can be. I mean, but it depends on the person. What's that? That's that saying that goes around. My attitude depends on your whatever. It's kind of true for me.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I just think that this is hard. It's hard out here, man. It's hard dating at this age. You would think that it would be easier because we've kind of figured out what we want and what we don't want.
Right.
But by doing that, you're going to eliminate a whole lot of people. It's like a needle in a haystack. You'll meet somebody and you're like, damn, I'm really feeling it. And then, like you said, that representative goes away. See, and I don't have a representative. I'm too much of an oversharer. Like, it don't take much for me to tell my business. And, I'm normally like clowning and laughing or whatever. And if I'm not clowning and laughing, that other side, or I'm just kind of quiet and pensive because, it's just, I'm an extroverted introvert. But yeah. But, it's hard out here, man. But so do you think if you were to give with somebody who is abstaining, while getting to know them, do you think like not having sex helps the process in terms of really getting to know the person, or do you think having sex with somebody that you're dating kind of adds to the confusion of getting to know them?
Me personally, I don't think sex gets in the way, but that's me personally. But I do think that with the majority of people, I do think sex tends to cloud your judgment. I heard a therapist say recently, sex will make your red flags turn into pink flags. So things that you may need to stay away from, you might look at and say, "Well, I think I might be able to deal with this person with this characteristic because you're already having sex with this person, which for some people brings feelings. So now you're feeling the person. So now you might overlook the red flags because your feelings are already involved." So,
I think that's only for women.
hmm,
I
I
think that's
don't know.
And I think for me as a guy, and it's kind of stupid.
I think we may put
To
it in
admit,
different
we-
terms for men, but I don't necessarily think it's different because I know a lot of guys who saw things in the beginning and still proceeded into the relationship. There are men who do that too. So I don't know.
there's guys that do that.
It might not be based on the sex. It might just, but
There's guys that do that, but I think if you a dude who has options, you're not really doing that. The most you're going to do is, I'll still hit, right? I'll still hit, and that in itself is sort of stupid because that can lead to feelings getting involved. And then, what if this person isn't the most stable person? And then, I'm having sex with them, and then that brings off a whole another slew of emotions. Now she want to, break out your car windows and do all that other type of shit. So I think that we are somewhat, I'll speak for myself. I have been guilty of doing that in the past. Like, yeah, I know this person, they ain't gonna work, but I still want to hit though. So I'll play along with it to still hit. So I think that if I remember when the most meaningful relationships I had, we didn't really have sex as when it started off. Like they made me wait, which I always felt like it pissed me off because I'm like, wait a minute, you think that I'm a good guy, right? You think that you can have a meaningful relationship with me, so you don't want to have sex with me. But then you got these fuck boys or these dudes who ain't about nothing, and you'll go ahead and have sex with them because it just don't mean nothing. And in my mind, I'm like, well, wait a minute. What reward do I get for being a good guy? He gets the ass and I gotta wait. That don't make sense to me. Why do I know how you are? Why do some women do that? Because it's an old school train of thought. Because I remember a woman told me, she said, yeah, my mom told me not to sleep with you. She told me not to sleep with you because you're a good guy. And if I sleep with you, you'll go ahead and leave. So if I hold out, then basically I could get you on the hook and we'll be together.
well, I mean, you just said it right there. Because that's what women are taught. Hold out and you'll grab the man. That's what women are taught
Y'all really taught that shit?
for the most part.
Man,
I mean, Steve Harvey wrote a whole book about it. I mean, and I'm not saying that Steve Harvey.
who read that book?
I don't know. I did, but I'm just saying he wasn't the first. He won't be the last. But that was definitely a thing that people are taught, that especially women. I can't speak for men, but I know a lot of women who are taught that if you hold out, you'll get the good guy. And I don't know. I don't know.
Has that worked for you?
No,
You say no because I be fucking.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I know that I've been in relationships where I've waited and the relationship was some trash, and then the relationships where it started off with a bang and the relationship was good. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a clear cut rule to that.
Shout out to everybody who's watching. Shout out to Sandy. Hey, Sandy. Shout out to Missy. Missy says sex is like a cloud. She can't see nothing. I don't know what that means, but she had a bunch of laugh emojis with it. Oh, okay. You be in a day. Sometimes I'm slow. I like to think I'm smart, but sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptake. My apologies, Missy. Um, yeah, I think that my most serious relationship started off when we kind of held off on having sex. Um, yeah, and I think that they were probably the most meaningful. I've only really been in one, two, three, four that I would say serious relationships in my life. Is that alarming considering I'm 46?
No, I've only been in 5. I mean, and like I said, 2 of them I held out on. My first boyfriend and another one. And the other ones started out with a bang. You know what's funny? I remember the second relationship I was in. I remember telling him, because we it was like third date. You're getting it in. And I remember telling, which turned into
Wait, did y'all plan to do it on the third date?
no, it just happened. At least I wasn't planning it. Because matter of fact, after the first date, I wasn't supposed to go out with him again anyway. That was me being shallow. But but anyway, but no, I remember telling him, like, if I had known that he was going to be significant in my life, I would have waited. But the thing was, why? He became significant in my life. So I don't know what waiting would have done. Like, I don't know if it would have changed that dynamic, because we got into a serious relationship. We were almost married. So I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
So Sandy says men judge women by how quickly we sleep with y'all. So women are damned either way. Better just do what you can live with. You agree with that?
Yeah. If you, and there's some men who are going to judge you whether you do it. There's some men who are going to clown you and judge you if you don't. So do what feels best for you. But
I don't know if I
but you gotta make sure that you can handle whatever consequences come with that.
See, the only reason why I don't necessarily agree with that is because I think like if like we slept like within the first hour or two of meeting one another. Sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes you just have instant chemistry and it kicks off, right? Sometimes you ain't never had that happen.
Not in the first hour, no.
That's because you ain't never met a top flight security motherfucker like me. But anyway, sometimes it happens, Tay.
I don't know it. I mean, and I will say I've had sex on the first date, but that was after talking for a while. So you
never had sex on the first night?
I said I've had sex on the first night, but that was after.
No, I'm talking not the first date, because the first date y'all could have been talking on the phone for.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about you meet a person.
I know.
The same day that you meet them, y'all.
No.
And you ain't living life then.
I'm living the life I want to live, and it's been good for me for the most part.
So anyway, back to what we were saying. Sandy says we judge women. I think that we only judge women at this age. 2 things. If I smash like the first night that I met you, I don't know if it's gonna necessarily be. It could be like a love at first sight thing, right? Possibly. I think the only thing at this age that's probably something that's going to eliminate you is if you've been with one of our friends.
I don't know. I think guys in our generation and older will still judge women. I think it's the younger generations that don't judge as harshly.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can agree with you, because we do.
We got
some antiquated thinkers. Yes, we do. We got some antiquated thinkers.
Yeah, and we've talked about that on a show with a past guest, one of the men we had on, and I was like, it's not a common thing with guys our age and older. Some of them are still living with old ideas, antiquated ideas, and they will still judge women on living how they want to live.
Michelle said her mom taught her, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Hold out to get the ring. I mean, we heard that before. I don't know if that still works these days, especially if you are our age and you're single, because if you're a man like me, who's easy on the eyes, good personality, got something going for him, these young girls is fucking. And the competition is fierce. So I don't know if that holding out, with the cow and the milk, or however it go. I don't know if that still works. That man worked back when we was coming up in the 80s and the 90s, but nowadays competition is fierce. So I don't know. May not be able to say that to your kids these days. But
No, I don't know. I don't have any children, so I can't I can't speak on how to raise them.
I mean, I don't know. I talked about sex with my kids, especially, my son and my girls, but I don't know if we ever had that discussion in terms of when to have sex and when not to have sex. My main thing was just like, don't bring no babies home. Here, let me tell you how to protect yourself. Here's a boatload of condoms. Like I gave my kids condoms. I know, like my parents, like my dad found my rubbers. He was just like, "What you doing with these rubbers?" No, he was like, "What you doing with these dick rubbers?" And I was like, "Oh, they my cousins." I threw my cousin under the bus like a motherfucker. So there wasn't no real discussion or anything. I was much more open with my kids when it came to sex. So you get past the whole whether we have sex on the first date or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started hanging out. And this question that popped up on social media, so we're gonna go ahead and entertain it. So you call him and you're like, "What you doing tonight? You feel like hanging out?" And his response is, "If you want to come over, that's cool." Why do y'all hate that so much?
Because that doesn't make you feel like you're really wanted. It feels like an afterthought. Like, I mean, I ain't doing nothing else. Come on. Like, who wants that? If I really want a guy to come over, I'm not gonna make him feel like he's an afterthought. Or at least I'm not gonna try to make him feel like he's an afterthought. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to see you. What's up? Let's go.
But I get you. But it's not a slight though, by saying if you want to come over, you can. Sometimes what I think a lot of women underestimate is men like their peace. You know how people always say like be his peace? And sometimes my peace is me sitting watching the game, fucking around on YouTube or playing video games or whatever. Sometimes I'm just chilling. And if you want to come over and chill with me while I'm doing that, that's cool. But that's that situation where it's I'm chilling. I don't necessarily feel like entertaining you, but I wouldn't mind having your company. But hold on,
I don't necessarily feel like entertaining.
Hold on. But I wouldn't mind having your company. You see the difference? Like there's a difference between like, yes, I want to see you. I want to sit here and talk and like watch a movie, go out, eat ice cream, and do whatever. Yes, I want to do this with you. But if I'm chilling and you come chill with me, I wouldn't mind because I like your company. But but if you don't, I'm still
Then say that. I don't mind because I like your company. Don't just leave it as.
But isn't it already fucking inferred? If he's saying like, "Yo, you can come over," why do I have to spell it out?
Because what you're saying is telling me what I just said. Like I'm an afterthought. Like you don't really care if I come over or not. That's not making me want to come over.
But you're not an afterthought because
that's how it feels. I'm telling you how it feels. The communication is about what you give and what you receive. And if what you're giving to the other person is not what they want to receive, then the communication is broken somewhere. So we have to learn how to talk to each other.
Do you not see how for men that could be exhausting?
Why not say, no, I'm chilling right now. It's cool. No, don't worry about it. Or yes, come over. Just leave it at that. You ain't even gotta say if you want to, just say, yeah, sure.
So it's if you want to.
Yes.
But sometimes that if you want to come over, set like the disclaimer, like, yo, I'm chilling. So if you come over, say it's cool if you want to come over, you cool, you want to do something else, it's all good. We still good. Why does that make it seem like we're not good no more though? Or like why does that land in such a demeaning way?
Because that's how that sounds. Like you don't really care if she comes over or not. I just said it like 3 times. That's how that sounds.
Sandy said that's trash.
It is.
Sandy says that's trash. Tay, do you want to come over is different from I want to see you. Okay, Sandy. And then Sandy said, Marvin, you always telling the brothers to choose low mileage cat. You tripping. I mean, I'm not telling them to choose low mileage cat. I mean, but you know, if I'm gonna buy a new ride, I'm gonna get the one with the least amount of mileage, you know.
Well, this is the thing. I'm only going to go.
I'm gonna get the one with the hat that's been gently used and the least amount of previous owners.
This is the thing. I'm only going to go where I know I'm wanted. And if you don't make me feel wanted, I'm not going to go. I'm going to look for somebody who's going to make me feel wanted.
You're gonna look for somebody, so it's that easy. It's that easy just to find somebody else, huh? I'm gonna go look for somebody else.
I'm single right now, and it's by choice. It's not because my DMs are dry. I'm just saying, yes, it's easy.
Hey, you ain't even humble brag on that one. You just like shit.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if you have a guy who's saying, I don't care if you come over or not,
versus that's not what he said though.
But that's how it sounds. I don't care if you come over or
but
you
again, if you that's want. Not
if I'm saying I want to come over, then I don't need you to say if you want to. I'm letting you know that I want to. So it's a yes or no question. It don't need that extra. That extra is what takes it down. It has me calling the next dude who's in my inbox, like, when we getting together.
And then you know what? You know what he gonna say? That's cool if you want to meet up.
And that's fine. I'm going to go where I'm 46 years. What I've learned is I'm going to go with the person who makes me feel wanted. You don't want me, I can go somewhere else.
Well, here's the deal. Do you think that we are allowing women into our space that we don't want?
You might, I mean, that's well and good, but
no. Hold on. Do you think that we are allowing women in our space that we don't want to be around? I mean, if we didn't want to be around you, number one, we probably wouldn't answer the phone. Number two, we would be like, yo, I got something else to do, right? So we're saying, hey, listen, if you want to come over, that's cool. If you don't, I understand. That's not saying we don't fuck with you. It's just saying that we could go either way. We could either chill out or we could chill with you. It don't matter.
I get that. I get all of that.
It's not like we saying like if you don't come over, I got another bride coming over. See, that's what you went with, right? If you don't say it in the way that I want it to be said, I'll go find another dude. We ain't saying that. We're just saying, yo, like I'm chilling. You see how it's different though? The responses are different.
Started this off with, why do y'all hate that? And I'm telling you how it makes people feel.
Sandy says, we have placeholders too. Stacy said, what's up, Stacy? She said, there's always somebody who wants us. And that's see how y'all go? And y'all talk about us.
I'm just saying, if I want to be with a guy, I'm going to make him feel like he's wanted. I just want a reciprocation. Isn't that what you always talk about? Reciprocation. I want the same kind of energy.
I think that's much ado about nothing. I think that
it could be.
I think that, you probably are getting in your own way by having that mindset.
You might be. You said getting in your own way?
Yeah, you might be getting in your own way, for sure.
Maybe.
Because you probably got a guy that really likes you. And then because he didn't say it in the way that you wanted it to be said, you gonna call the next dude who might just be a fuckboy.
Now, I will give you that, because I have been accused of being extremely nonchalant in the past because I do not show emotion well. I will give you that. But and I'm sure that I always say this, anytime that question comes up, have you ever lost a good man or let a good man go? I'm sure I have, because I'm extremely nonchalant. But
why? Well, hold on. Let's unpack that. why are you so? Why is that such an easy thing to do?
What, be nonchalant? It's just my
No,
personality.
to just let a good man go.
Depend at times it depends on my what my mind frame was at the time, what I wanted at the time. It depends on
Or
anything.
because you got hoes. Your DM is flooded, so you can get another, huh? That's what it is.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I've always said in my earlier days, I was commitment phobic. So I know that because it was like if a guy started talking commitment, I was gone. I so and I've said that a lot. So I mean, I'm sure there were good men who aren't here anymore who could be. I'm sure there are.
You know what? I don't think I got married kind of young. I got married when I got married. So 2006. So what's the math? 29. I was 29 when I got married. So that's still relatively young, right? I had friends who got married much younger, but that's still relatively young. I don't think that you can say a person is good or not in your 20s because people change. Now, I don't know about your situation. Maybe you're talking about dudes you met in your 30s or the 40s, whatever. But can I say I did some good girls wrong? Yes, I did. Because I told you, I think I have. I went through a fuckboy stage in my life. I mean, I had a bad breakup, and I was a terror out here. And thankfully, most of the women who I wasn't the best man towards, they allowed me to come and apologize to them and make it right. But I don't know if I can say I let a good one go because I feel like what's for me is for me. What's for me is for me, And if they really wanted me, they'd have fought harder to get me. They would have came over when I said, "Hey, you want to come over? It's cool. If not, I understand." Right? They'd have powered through that shit like the rest of y'all should too.
Lord, whatever. I mean, I don't know if you can say just because of somebody's age that you can't tell if they're a good person or not. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know. Well,
I can because I can say that my college boyfriend was a good dude. That was college. I met him when he was in his early 20s. I can say that.
and what happened?
I messed that up. I know. Well, no, I didn't mess it up. I mean, there were a lot of reasons why we didn't belong together. I mean, yeah, it wasn't just, yeah, there was a lot of reasons.
Okay. Okay. Stacey said, we don't like that verbiage. We want you to say, I want to see you.
Exactly, Stacey.
Danny says, why not be receptive to what you're hearing? Communication is not just about your intent. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope it works out for y'all. I think you might be messing up a good thing by
I'm
being.
chilling.
What'd you say?
I said, I'm chilling right now. So.
Well, I mean, I hear you. I hear y'all. And I think that, yes, you definitely want to be somewhere that you want it because I've been in a situation, I've been in a relationship where I knew that that person really didn't want me per se, start off good and then it kind of drifted towards where we were becoming more disconnected. And the time that we were spending together, you could tell when somebody, their vibe and their energy, whether they're feeling you or not, whether
Mhm.
we want to be around you, and if it's like they're being around you because it's a courtesy, they don't want to hurt your feelings. And what most people don't understand, when you're with somebody in that type of space, it's really more hurtful than just saying, "Yo, I don't feel like kicking it today." Being in that space where you really are liking that person, and they're just kind of like, if you want to come through, it's whatever. Sit down, and it's an energy that's involved. So
Yeah.
I get what y'all saying in terms of what you want to hear. And I think at 46, in our mid 40s and our 50s, we should be able to carry out that simple task. But I do think y'all being a tad bit hypersensitive.
I mean, the guys who have gotten to actual relationships with me were never that nonchalant with me. They let it be known that they wanted me. So who's really missing out? I mean,
I got a comment, but I ain't gonna say it. I got a comment, but I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, I think we talked about enough, Tay.
Yep.
Tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you want to be a guest on the show, even if you want to be anonymous, you have a topic you want us to talk about, a story you want us to read, advice maybe, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing.
Yep, let us know. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Listen to our old shows. Share it with a friend. We need let's get us about 20 followers this week. See if we can get about 20 people to follow the show. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on iTunes. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can watch the video or you can listen on audio. So if you're on the train, if you're on the metro, if you riding in the car, whatever, you can check out the show. We'll holler at you next time. Peace.
Bye.
So you just picked